Hey there, Luke here with you, and in this video we're going to talk about how you can relaunch a wet and tangled Parawing. This is something that I've been playing around with out there on the water. Every time I fall in, you know, everything gets wet, gets tangled up, and so this is the process that I've been using lately in order to get the thing back in the sky nice and easy. So let's go through it. So I've got a Tangled Parawing here, so let's demonstrate it on the board. So what I like to do is I like to get up onto the board and sit straddled with my legs dangling down, with the nose of the board pointing directly downwind. The legs will just help slow your pull downwind, but I prefer to have the nose downwind so I can kind of work right in front of me and not sideways perpendicular to the wind. Then I'll grab the Parawing and get it up onto the board, something like this, and I look for the leading edge and have it laid down so you can see the sort of the pocket there pointing up. So we've got the underside of the canopy facing up, and that just sort of exposes all of the lines a little more, so you've got a clearer look at them and how they're all sort of laying out. And so you can see that I've got one wingtip over here. It's all a bit of a mess, so I just try and orientate it. It'll sort of be flopping down into the water, but I try and orientate it like it would fly, so it would sort of fly up like that. Then I start looking at all of the lines, and I got this tip from Greg, who's a great Parawinger, and he says just mainly focus on the front lines. If you just focus on untangling the front lines first, then you'll find that everything else can sort of fall into place. And so I start by pulling it up, and you can see that immediately there's a twist. So I start by just untwisting the bar to get sort of in a similar, in a generally untwisted state, and then start to look where these blue lines are going through. So I'm just looking for anywhere that needs to obviously go around, and you're just pulling the bar through or over, or you might need to move lines over the top of the bar. And of course, every time it's going to be slightly different, but you're just looking for where these blue lines go. Needs to poke through there, and you can start to pull a little bit of tension on the lines. Because the Parawing is so wet, it should just be sitting in the water. If it's trying to launch, you might need to just sort of bunch it up a bit more. So then once you feel like that it's close, I just try and pull the lines slightly taut, a bit of tension, so you can kind of see where everything is. And then now we're ready to try and launch it. So then to launch it, I take the bar and I put it into the depowered position with my hand, so that when it launches, it will immediately fly into that depowered position. You're not going to get that massive pull when it like launches finally. I then take my pointer and my thumb, my top fingers, and just pinch the leading edge so that I've got it in my hand. And then with my other hand, also grab the leading edge, a little bit wider than my shoulder width apart. Then I can basically throw this Parawing straight up into the sky, and when I let go of that pointer finger and thumb, it'll fly and immediately fly up into the depowered position. So if we give it a go, just basically going straight up in front of our head, and there we go. You can see it flew immediately into that depowered position, so I'm not getting overly pulled. Now, if you do launch and you still see there's like a small problem with a line around the bar, you can bring it down onto its onto its side, onto the water, and still resolve those kinds of problems and untwist any lines. Or if it's a real problem, you might need to actually bring it all the way back in onto the board and reset it and start again. Another thing I want to mention is, because it's filled with water, it's a little heavier, and sometimes water will fill up all of these pockets, particularly where it's draped into the water on either side. And so you might need to actually try and shake it out first. And so sometimes I'll sort of pinch it the same way, but then I'll actually shake it like this, try and get all the water out of the pockets, and then throw it up, and then actually give it a couple of shakes to shake off all of the water. That reduces a lot of the weight. It's actually quite noticeable how it performs differently when it's wet and heavier compared to giving it that bit of a shake and getting all the water off the canopy. Anyway, that's it for this video. Just a quick video on how I like to reset myself every time I crash, tangle, relaunch the Parawing, and get back up onto the foil. So hopefully that was helpful. Luke here again with you, and I hope to see you in the next video.